I didn't hear the signal. There it is. Hi, my name is Karen Whittemore. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm a family nurse practitioner. I've been in practice for 25 years now, and in all my time, I have never seen anything quite like the technology with LifeWave and the X39 patch. And today we have a special guest with us, Candace Stubbs, who's going to share her story. And I'll let you, Candace, I'll let you share what your life was like before November, before you started using the patches, what you were going through, what your health problems have been.
Okay, well, hi everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here. My heart's very grateful for Karen and for all the work she's done to help my life be better. And what a wonderful friend. I'm just extremely grateful for that, I have to share. Um, so our family, we have diabetes, and I'm the only one with Hashimoto's, but as Karen has listed, I have both of those conditions. And back in, I think, 2014, my diabetes turned from type 2 to late onset type 1, very brittle and very hard to control. And the fluctuations are miserable. And then the thyroid got worse. And then with Hashimoto's, the two of them have been duking it out, so to speak. So one day it's pain from this, another day it's been pain from that, or fatigue or whatever. So it's just been a whole array of things. And I had hit such a low point a couple Decembers ago that I just didn't want to be here. I'm like, what is my purpose? I don't even think I have a purpose here anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. And my kids assured me, just keep going, Mom, just keep going. It's going to be okay. You just keep being that warrior that you are. So I did it for them, but I was literally surviving, not thriving. I had a hard time standing up from sitting in position on the couch. If I was on the floor, I needed help getting up. And
So was that because of the pain, or was that because
yes,
of the fatigue?
oh my goodness. So there's a combination. So number one, pain in the muscles and tenderness in the muscles. And that's attributed highly to Hashimoto's. And then, of course, pain in the joints, shooting pains, fighting off neuropathy from the diabetes. So I had pain in the joints, I had pain in my muscles, and it's just rotating and random. And every day I didn't know what I was going to get. I had heating pads that would rotate between my shoulder, my back, my legs. I wasn't sleeping at night. I was doing everything I could to get enough sleep because the pain was just excruciating. I didn't know where the flare-up would happen, but it was up and down all night. And
So
then
was it the pain that was keeping you awake at night, or was some of it just that your mind wouldn't shut down enough to relax to sleep?
that's a really good question. So along with these disabilities becomes the mental aspect of it. And so my
Okay.
brain did shut down. It said, we're done. I don't want to do this anymore. And so that, adds to the problem. But when you're a fighter and you push, for instance, you push to get up off the couch, I'm like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to get up. The pain, for instance, right after pain medicine would kick in, then I would get a little bit of relief and some energy. So I get up and shower, or get up and do some dishes, or get up and do a few things. And then I'd be laid out right back on the couch again, feeling like I just went out and walked a 5 mile, or, it was awful. It was comparable to the activity in my body with pain and the fatigue in both my brain and my body. Muscles and legs, my arms and my legs would shake. My brain would completely fog over, and just thinking straight doesn't happen clearly anymore. It got worse and worse. My eyesight was getting worse. My dental problems were getting worse. The pain was getting worse with, oh my goodness, the headaches got worse. And it's, it was a gamble. Do I eat this? Do I not eat this? I think, okay, all these foods are adding to it. And I'm like, well, how am I going to get rid of these toxins that I know are in my body that are causing this diabetes to be worse, this Hashimoto's to be worse, these headaches to be worse? And I just wanted relief from it. And no matter what I did, it was very painful. And I had a son that said, we're not going to give up. And I have a son. He would get me up and he would take me to the river when I was in Arizona, and just to float and just swim and just, use my muscles just a little bit. So he was a light in the dark. I could talk. All my kids are lights in the dark. The whole reason I was out there is because one of my other sons said, that's enough, Mom. You need to come out here because I'm tired of seeing you go through pain. You need to stop pushing yourself to work so hard. It was a lot of things
For
that I was
the 2 years
doing.
ago?
Yeah, well, for a lot of years, I literally, I guess if there's anything really important I could say is I put so much wear and tear on my body and so much damage from the lifestyle that I was living that my body just collapsed in all of these multiple ways. It just went down, and it went down hard. And over the last even 3 years, or 4 years, I stopped. I stopped doing what I was doing, and I tried to just go into a meditative state and go into healing. But I still needed so much help. I had bottomed out and didn't know how to get the help. My kids were doing everything they could do, and I was seeing multiple doctors, endocrinologists, dietitians, everything, and just the brittleness of what I was experiencing, and my body just deteriorating, my brain cells deteriorating, my vision, and the feeling in my hands and feet, and the numbness, the tingling, all of it just came on, and it was a really rough time. And so just to get up and go to the river and paddle a little bit was a huge success. Just to do anything small was a huge success. To wash the conditioner out of my hair, it's down there, was a huge success. It was just a lot. So to
So
this
then what
day,
happened when you started using, I'm sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
no, that's okay. So I just want to say last November when I was introduced to these patches, I was very scared. I'm like, and you had mentioned them to me before, but I finally felt like I needed to invest in the product and improve my life. And I had moved back here to Cedar. I had more of my kids around me. I wanted to be around them more. I wanted to be a better mom. I wanted to be a better grandma. So I said, I've got nothing to lose. I've got to try it. And so
Yeah, so
I
what did you
was
experience?
I was completely swollen. I had complete inflammation. I had so much of that when this started in November. And even in December, we went on a few of us family vacation, and I was struggling to even get around. I had to be pushed in a wheelchair everywhere. And I was just miserable, living on pain medicine to the best of my ability to make it through that time. So that inflammation was really bad. Uh, the pain in the joints and the muscles, it was all really bad during that time. And I'm like, okay, well, I will use these patches and I will try. So I started with a couple, and then I felt a little bit of relief here and a little bit of relief there. And I knew that if I kept with it, the two things that I really wanted to battle was the fatigue and the pain. So, I started, and it's not an overnight thing with the way they work, as you guys will explain to everybody, but But what happened to me was a slow and gradual process where I started noticing through my journaling little bits of happiness coming every day, a little bit of more motivation because the fatigue would lift, a little bit more ability to do things because the pain was less. So this has been, since November, and to this day, I look forward to where I'm going to be come next November, because with this much progress that I've had now, I can't wait to see what happens by next November with this stem cell reproduction in my body, and pray that I can reduce all of these aging effects and be young again. And I've already seen so much of that. After, I would say, so last month, my daughter came over, and I had been really sick and we'd been staying away from each other and quarantining. And she came in and she said to me, "Mom, your skin, look, what's your skin? It's just glowing. It's so soft. What's going on?" So
Love it.
that was the first recognition. And then just leaving the house, because I don't leave my house. I was becoming a shut-in recluse. I didn't want to go anywhere or do anything. And the kids have started seeing those changes where I'm like, okay, I want to go out. I want to do a few things with you guys, and not just everything at my house. And that's been really hard for me. And that has been a mental and physical challenge that I've had to slowly begin overcoming. And so that's kind of where I'm at now, is this trend of sleeping better, seeing less pain, being less swollen, um, feeling more bursts of energy. And when I put my patches on, specifically, I there's a few, but I have my combination. When I get that combination on me in the morning, it's a whole new day.
So what
It
is the combination that you've been using?
So my combination is the X39, the X49, the Energizer, and um, how do you say that?
Glutathione,
There you
the
go.
detoxing
So those are
patch.
the
Yeah.
ones I use during the day. At night, I have 3 I use at night for that I have found help me sleep better and help me with the pain through the night. And my skin, I want my skin to improve as I sleep. So I do aloe vera and carnosine and Aeon at night. And that's been the perfect, I get better sleep. If I just go lay down and forget to put my patches on, and my watch tells me, how I'm sleeping, and I can tell if it's rough in the night. And the records are it's just proof. The proof's in the pudding with how I feel, with my sleep record, with my energy level, with the clarity in my brain. I can read a book now and stay focused better. I have the desire to get up and do things. I'll be sitting on the chair where I've been for 2 years and my legs are all fidgeting. And of course, I have restless leg syndrome. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to get up and do something. What can I do? And the biggest thing with this journey is I've had to record what I can do and what I can't, because it's not like a miracle thing that's just going to snap your fingers and all of a sudden I'm going to feel better overnight. It's a gradual, slow, dedicated process. And I just know I'm going to feel even better every month. And that's what I look forward to.
I love it. That's wonderful. Well, yeah, and I've been enjoying watching how much you've changed too. It's like I knew you before you went to Arizona, and when you had come back, I honestly didn't even recognize you at first. You had changed so much, and now I see you again. I see you the way I saw you before, and it's wonderful. And you have that vibrant energy, and yeah, I love it. And you're just such a beautiful person. And
Oh,
yes, thank you
thank
so much for
you.
sharing your story with everyone.
Thank you.
So, yes, so my question for everyone is, have you been patched yet? I've been patched now for about 3 years. And if you can just imagine reactivating, energizing, stimulating elevating your own stem cells. Imagine experiencing a level of health and vitality that you haven't experienced since your youth. Imagine having no pain, sleeping through the night, or having more energy and reversing aging. These things are not science fiction. These things are actually possible. So as we age, we tend to lose our stem cells. And the fewer the stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. And that's why hundreds of millions of people out there are experiencing symptoms of aging. Like myself, I'm 57 years old, and I was noticing that I wasn't sleeping very well through the night. I was noticing that it was getting thin under my eyes, and I was starting to get recession in my hairline. As we age, the stem cells in our body become less and less effective. And by age 60, the stem cells in our body show very little activity. They become slower and release less of the growth factors that are needed to repair our body. By the time we're in our mid 70s, we are showing almost no stem cell activity at all. And that's why older people do have such a difficult time healing from injury. Now, LifeWave does have a disclaimer. LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition, and you always want to consult with a physician or qualified healthcare provider before embarking on a new healthcare program. That being said, this patch does not heal or cure you. What it's doing is it's a tool. It's giving your body the things that your body needs to make the repairs inside that it has been wanting to make for years. So how does it work? It's kind of like the holy grail of reverse aging. The X39 is made of little organic nanocrystals. And these nanocrystals elevate a particular peptide called copper peptide, which then in turn activates your stem cells. So it's an indirect way of getting your stem cells activated, and it has been clinically proven to enhance overall health and vitality. This is actually a form of frequency medicine. So back in his day, Albert Einstein said that frequency medicine would be the medicine of the future, and I really believe that. If you can think of going out in the sun is a perfect example of frequency medicine. The sunlight hits our body and it sends us a specific signal that tells our body that it's time to start producing vitamin D. A lot of people, and I had the misconception in the past that you step out into the sunlight and the sunlight is giving you vitamin D, and that's not how it works. The sun is giving you a frequency that tells your body to start producing the vitamin D. And that's how this patch works. Our bodies are light. We are light beings. And you can see this if you look at each other with night goggles on. You can see that we are just glowing with far infrared light. It's that light that's in our heat range. And as that light hits this surface of the organic crystals, it gets infused with a specific frequency, gets sent back into our body, signaling our body to start producing copper peptide. And then from that, our bodies know, hey, we need to bump up the stem cell activity. So just the copper peptide alone, though, has significant benefits. In fact, this is what the National Institutes of Health says on their website. It says copper peptide stimulates blood and nerve outgrowth and increases collagen and elastin for visible anti-aging. Copper peptide's ability to improve tissue repair has been demonstrated for skin, lung connective tissue, bony tissue, liver, and stomach lining. It has also been found to possess powerful cell productive actions such as multiple anti-cancer activities and anti-inflammatory actions, as well as having anti-anxiety, anti-pain, and anti-aggression activities. And their site even goes on to say some more things, but these are just the first few lines of the benefits just from the copper peptide alone. So who came up with this? Well, our inventor, founder, and CEO is David Schmidt. He has over 130 US patents. 70 of these alone are just in regenerative medicine. He's a scientist and inventor and a two-time recipient of the Advanced Technology Award from the International Hall of Fame. So years ago, he was working for the military, and they were trying to come up with a way for the Navy SEALs to be able to stay awake for at least 30 hours in a mini sub without needing any drugs or chemicals which could be harmful to the body. And that's where he came up with the first patch prototype called the Energy Enhancer. He ended up deciding to bring this to market and make this available to everybody. And in 2004, LifeWave, the company, was established, and they had their first product, Energy Enhancer. In the first year of sales, they did $17 million in sales. So this company has actually been around for 20 years, even though there's still so many people out there that haven't heard of it. And some of the benefits of being a company in business for 20 years is you've got the stability of it, but it also has very unique products that are exclusively protected by multiple patents. There's over 80 research and clinical studies. There's independent researchers and universities, medical and scientific experts. And if you look at this, on the bottom of the page, here's a brain scan. This is one of the experiments that they did. A 77-year-old female. And on the right side, you can see the scale. When you go closer into the red, that means that the voltage is much higher. So the first session, she has a lot of red activity. So very high voltage going on, overactive brain, probably a very anxious type of person, overstimulated. After 3 weeks of using the X39 patch, her brain becomes much more calm. And after 6 weeks, she is able to maintain that. So this is incredible when you consider that this is a 77-year-old. And I told you earlier how in our 70s, we have little to no stem cell activity at all. So the fact that somebody at this age could activate their stem cells, that's hope for all of us. All of us can have benefit. Here is the patent on the other side of the screen. And you actually don't get a patent unless you can prove what you're saying that your product does. And in here, it says that it elevates copper peptide for the activation of stem cells. And we do have studies showing that within 7 days, copper peptide is dramatically increased. So what are the benefits that you might expect from the X39 technology? Pain relief. And as Candace was talking, she was experiencing a lot of pain. Now, it took her time to start feeling better, and she may still have some pain issues, but it's much less than when she started. Over time, things are getting better and better. There's reduced inflammation. And in fact, we have studies that show within 24 hours, inflammation comes down. It supports wound healing, and we have many testimonials regarding how it affects wound healing. It improves energy and vitality, as Candace noticed that she was able to start doing more, get out of the house, participate more. And somebody is asking, Candace, what patch did you start with? Was it the X39 that you started with initially, or did you start with the X39 with the glutathione?
I started with the X39, and then I did the 3-pack that came with the carnosine.
The 3-by-8?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah, so
Aeon
carnosine,
yeah.
Aeon, and glutathione are in
Yes.
this. Yeah.
But, I still do have horrific fatigue. It's a chronic illness, and it's not going to just go away overnight. But the patches do give me relief now instantly when I put them on, whereas they didn't in the beginning because I was in such a horrific state at that point.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's been a gradual improvement, and different things at different times, and the inflammation is a big problem for pain, especially in a diabetic or Hashimoto's, because it sits there on those joints and muscles. And I haven't even completely understood, Karen, exactly how the patches really work. But for me, it was, I need a miracle. And honestly, right now, I'm living proof that you can go from a febrile state to wanting to get up and do things in the day. And I just can't I can't imagine my life without this. Now I have a life now. I'm alive still, and and I
Yeah,
look forward to a long life. Yeah.
I love it. And somebody was asking when you started, and that was in November, right? At the end of
November.
November?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
November. Yes. Even though I wanted to before, because I had run into Karen at the park when I was visiting from Arizona one time, and I was so excited to see her, and she was with her sweet mother, and that story really triggered me. And so I spent some time with that festering in my mind until I found a way to actually make it possible to get the patches and have that become a major part of my life. Yeah, huge blessing from then.
Yeah. Yeah. And you started the Aeon and the other patches at the same time as the X39, correct?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out how to. I still was having a lot of pain at night. I didn't know. I think for every person, different patches will do different things for them. And I did some research on the carnosine and saw that there were other people having a little bit of a sedentary effect with this. So I thought, I'm not going to take this during the day anymore. I'm going to take this at night. And sure enough, less pain, less waking up, all the that was a small miracle to come up with. And so, I just now I do X39, X49 in my energizers every day, as well as the glutathione, because I really need to continue getting the toxins out of my body. We have so many toxins in our body, and it really takes a long time when you're dedicated to getting rid of them to flush them out. And
Wow.
so there's that. I know that I'm a firm believer in doing anything that's going to help the toxins rid themselves, and I'm not sure exactly how that works either, but I know it's working.
Yay. Yay. And Patricia says, thank you, Candace.
You're
So,
welcome.
so mental clarity is also something that the X39 has been able to show that many people benefit from. It has been shown to enhance sports performance, a faster recovery from exercise, and improve skin appearance. We all love that. So a lot of times we forget, how important both the inside and outside of our body is, because the outside is a reflection of what's going on the inside. So the more our outward appearance is improving, you can bet that we've got that inward appearance improving as well. So what you can expect within the first few days is 4,000 genes begin to reset. And within 6 weeks, we saw the pictures earlier, your brain becomes more balanced. There's decreased symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, and depression. And within 3 months, your collagen is increased. There's decreases in wrinkles, hair growth increases, increased structural integrity of both your skeletal and muscular systems. It was about 3 months when I started to notice that I was getting plumpness under my eyelids again. And I loved that. And my sleep dramatically improved when I started using the patches. Within 6 months, there is actually heart heart reversal in aging. They did a study where they took 14 out of 15 people. They had 15 people using the X39 for 6 months, and 14 out of the 15 people had reversed their vascular age by an average of 8 years. So that's pretty fantastic. So, and Patricia's also asking if her diabetes improved. The patches, I don't think, have helped her diabetes as much as some of her medications. Um, I wish I could say that it would be a magic cure and just fix everything with that. But I know she is doing better with her diabetes. Um, but I don't think you noticed any dramatic changes when you first started the patches with how your sugar control was going, did you, Candace?
I didn't, but I actually can honestly say that with the combination of the patches making me feel better and wanting to get up, that alone helps any diabetic. Just,
Okay.
the problem is we get feeling so sick that we don't want to move. And that's the worst thing we can do, right? Eat lots of
Right.
carbs and not move. So I did take myself back off gluten again. And I did, and I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to be dedicated. But I can say that my blood sugars were spiking less. I started seeing more regular rhythms. Of course, I monitor. I wear a Dexcom sensor, and I have constant monitoring of my blood sugars. But with medicines, my diabetes is completely under control right now. And so
Yeah.
I can
Love
say
it.
so it's the combination, but I do believe firmly that without the patches, I wouldn't be feeling the desire to do what
Yeah.
it takes to make my diabetes better.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
to
trying to,
have the mental.
yeah. And I'm trying to remember what your A1C was, when you first came back from Arizona. It seemed like is it 10 or 11?
So the truth of the matter is, Karen, back in 2000, the end of 2000, right before COVID started,
Okay.
2019, I was at my wit's end. I had burnt myself out. I felt bad for my employer because I knew it wasn't up to par, and I knew I needed to step down. And my kids said, "You need to step down," because I went in to your office and you specifically told me, if you don't, because we talked about my diet, and my diet wasn't doing it. You said, if you don't stop this lifestyle, you're going to die, because I was really close to an 11 A1C at that time. And so, and so I did, and it was really hard. And that was mentally hard for me because I'm always a go-getter. I want to be going and working and being productive. So that was hard. But yes, that was where it's at. Now I know it's at the lower, probably. I can't wait to test it again. I'm hoping it's under
Yeah.
6 now with all of the improvements, but it's been down at and staying down at 6. And
When you're
I think with
monitoring. I
this
love it.
regimen, yeah.
I love it. I love all the things that you're doing. And like you said, it hasn't been just one thing. It's not like you use the patches and forget the medicine, or use the patches and forget your diet. Is everything. And you've also been doing
Mhm.
your art and everything to
Yes,
help
my
your
art,
healing.
yes, yes. It's been,
So,
and just being able to do that and sit in the chair and work on diamond art or a paint or epoxy, any of those things that my kids have been helping support me in doing to keep my mental outlook upbeat. Uh, all of those things are huge. But without the mental clarity, and you just don't want to do anything. And so, it's just it
that's a good
becomes
point.
it
Yeah.
becomes a good thing. So when those A1Cs start coming down, and when you're starting to feel better and you're moving more and you're doing a little bit more, you can see that it's then you can control your diabetes. And in order to do that with your medicines and with the LifeWave combination, I do need my mental wit about me. And so that coming back and being as far as it is without me stuttering all over the place, because I also have had 2 strokes in my past and have a heart closure and all these crazy things with my health. And so I feel like I'm a miracle sitting here. I really do. And I want to just keep fighting with
Yeah.
this. And
And
it's a
your
God
daughter
gift.
Christina adds that she's noticed that the dark circles that were under your eyes, they're lightening. They're becoming lighter, the patches
Yeah. Yep.
under your
She
spots.
obviously have makeup on today, but she comes over and she told me, I can't even tell if you're wearing makeup or not. It just looks like you are. Look, just to, cover things. And my dark patches on my face are fading. She's right. She noticed that. And that's been, the aging spots are lightening.
I love it.
And yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
So where can you go if you want to learn more information about these patches? We do have a website. It's called yourteaminmotion.com. You can write this down, yourteaminmotion.com. There's information about the patches, there's testimonials, there's information about the business side of things too. So check that out. And I just want to thank Candace for sharing her experience with everybody. That's been really beneficial for,
You're
I think,
welcome.
everybody to hear your
You're very
story.
welcome. I'm grateful.
Yeah,
I hope it helps somebody. That's if it doesn't do anything, I hope it helps somebody because
yeah.
a whole bunch of people, it's life changing. Yeah.
Yeah, so there will be a recording of this, and feel free to pass this along to your friends. And if you are not using the patches right now yourself and you are interested, get with the person who sent you here, and they can tell you how to best take advantage of it so that you can get $50 off of the X39 monthly, and that is very helpful. So thank you. Our time is up, and yeah, that was just wonderful. I love you all. Have a great week.